Well, hey everyone, I figured I would give you guys an update on my Accord, just because I hit about 80,000 miles, well, roughly about 1,000 miles ago. I'm actually at 80,993 miles, so I just wanted to give you guys a quick little update of what's going on with the car, just checking in overall, and I might talk a little bit about the, our other cars too. So I'll just take you guys for a little ride. Gotta get out of my driveway first. Say hi to the infamous Humpback of Bavaria. So far, we of you guys know, those of you that have been around on my channel for a couple of years now, we've actually had this car since 2009. It was actually leased when it was new, and my mom, after having it for 3 years, bought out the lease, and that's when I ended up with it. So I've had it a little over 4.5 years. I've had it since December of 2011. I got it with about 27,000 miles on it, and it has about 81,000 now. So I've put about 55,000 miles on it. Let's give it a little gas here, because there's a lot of traffic. So, yep, I put about 55,000 miles on it in the last 4.5 years, and it's really given me no troubles. Oil changes, tires, and brakes have been pretty much the basics. I'm not going to go over all of the maintenance history on this car, because that's been in other videos, but what I just want to talk with you guys about are how it's performing at 80,000 miles now. So, nothing really too monumental to report here. The speaker down here on the driver's side door actually did blow, so I do have to get that replaced. I'm also maybe considering upgrading the audio in this car at this point. Basically, it's more of a cost thing. How much will it cost to get a few of the speakers fixed versus getting a whole new audio system? So that's something I have to fix as well. I think also one of the seals on the passenger side window, the front window, needs to be replaced, just because it's really howling at higher speeds, and there's a lot more wind noise. This car is pretty noisy on the highway, in my opinion. One thing the Hondas aren't the best at is controlling road noise and tire noise, and this car is no exception. So that's a little bit noisy, and I think will need to be replaced. But other than that, there's no real quality issues to report on with the car. There's those two little things right there that I think need to be addressed. But again, for 80,000 miles, it's really not too bad. Mechanically, it's been fine. I changed the oil about every 5,000 miles. It's actually due for an oil change soon. And the transmission fluid is done every 30,000, and the last time I did that was at about 64,000 miles. So I still have another, I would say, 10 or 15,000 miles before I need to do that again. Transmission's good. No problems there. There are a lot of concerns with the 5-speed automatics and the older Hondas, but I think my car is just new enough where it's not going to be in that range of the ones that tend to just drop transmissions and just destroy them. I will say, in its older age, it has gotten a little bit clunky, but I've been told that that's normal of older Honda transmissions, so I don't think I have anything to worry about there. Let's see. What else? I'm thinking of having the car detailed before I go back to school, just because I think it'd be a nice little treat for myself and for the car. There are a couple of good detail places around my area. I just gotta get a few quotes on how much it would be. Not that the car is really that dirty, it's just never been professionally detailed before, and I think it would be really nice to have it looking almost back to brand new again. And again, I mentioned this in my last update video with the car, is there just a few paint chips here and there, and some of the clear coat is peeling on like really small parts inside the outside of the car, just like little dings where like rock chips have come up and have just worn away at the paint, have chipped away at the paint. So those I would like to get fixed at some point. A few scratches here and there, but it's really not too much. And in addition, just to talk a little bit more about this car and what my plans are for it. So, and this is kind of an unscripted video. It's just coming off the fly, or on the fly rather. And what I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of keeping this car to about 120,000 miles, and then getting something newer. Just because right now it's still running really well. There's no major repair bills that have really accrued, other than brakes and tires and oil changes and fluid changes. So for me, there's no real reason to dump this car. And it's also at about 105,000. It will need a timing belt change. On the V6 models, the J35 V6 models for Honda, that's when they recommend that you do it. At least that's what I read in the owner's manual. So probably around then is when I'll start considering. Oh, got a lot of smoke going on here. What is this? Oh, there's having a fire. Okay. A little concerning there for a second. But anyway, so I probably keep this car to a little over 100,000 miles because there's no reason for me not to. I really like driving it. It's not the most practical. Being only it has 2 doors, it can be a little bit tough to cram people and more stuff in here. And the seats in the 8th generation Accord are not very comfortable. So on long drives, it does get tiring and kind of painful. I have to get out every hour and a half to 2 hours just to, walk around and stretch, just because it's not really that comfortable. So in my next car, I definitely want something that will be more comfortable. But also I do want something that will be sporty as well. Now, whether I go for something German or something Japanese for my next car, I'm not really sure. I'm thinking of the Mark 7 GTI. I think would be a really good contender for my next car. Also looking into the BMW 3 Series as well would be good. I probably want, if I was going with the 3 Series, I probably would have to go with, oh, this guy, old guy's running across. I would probably have to go with probably an E90, probably like a 2011 sedan or a 2012 Touring, just because the F30, I like the vehicle, it's just not as special as the E90 is. If I was going to do an F30, I definitely want to do the wagon. I really would like something more practical for my next vehicle, so that's why I'm thinking of something along the lines of a wagon or a hatchback. But at the same time, I could also see myself really enjoying an Audi A3 with the 2.0T and Quattro, just because it's kind of like a GTI but a little bit nicer, also with all-wheel drive, which would definitely benefit me up here in New England. Not that I need it, it's just an extra measure of security to have, just because whatever car I will be driving up here, it will be on snow tires in the winter, so it's not going to be a problem. That all-wheel drive will just help when I'm in low traction situations. So just a few updates there. And then the real big update that I did about 4,000 miles ago was I actually purchased new tires for the car. So as some of you may know, it was running on the infamous Continental Conti Pro contacts, which were absolute garbage. They lasted about 25,000 miles, which is awful, in my opinion, for the kind of driving I do. I'm not someone that does sporty driving. I'm not beating the crap out of tires, doing burnouts, anything like that. They're rotated when they needed to be. They're just a very low quality tire and relatively expensive for what you're getting. So with that, I really wanted to get a more quality tire, something that wasn't going to blow out on me like I had with mine. I had one blow out on me and one wear incorrectly. So what I actually decided to go with is I went with the Continental Extreme Contact DWS for this car, just because I actually got a really good deal on Tire Rack because they were on closeout, because the DWS 06 or 06 are coming out or just came out, so they're trying to unload all of their old stock. And I'm really impressed with how this tire performs. And it's been really good in wet conditions, also in dry conditions. This car, as a lot of you guys know, if you're familiar with the 8th generation Accord, it's not a small car by any means. So when you're taking when you're taking corners, you really feel it. But these tires do grip very well. Like coming off highway, off ramps, I don't have any problems with the front end squealing like you might have if you fly through a corner really quickly. I haven't had a chance to test these in snow yet, just because I got them back in May. So I'm interested to see how those will perform in like some light snow and like probably in November before I get my snows on. The reason why I picked these over the other tire I was looking at, the Michelin Pilot Sport AS3, is because of their their traction availability in like wet and snow versus the Michelins. Just because where I go to school, there is some uncertainty with the weather. So if I don't have my snow tires on, I want a tire that will be able to perform in at least, you know, a few inches of snow. And I don't want my car to be completely useless just because I do need it to go places. So I do really like the tires. They grip very well. They're also, the ride is pretty good. Much better than the Conti Pro Contacts, but that's not hard to do. My car's suspension is very bumpy. Well, not very bumpy. That's a bad word to say. It's very firm, so you feel a lot of the bumps. However, with this, it's a lot better, just much more smooth, but also has to do with the fact that they're new tires versus Conti Pro Contacts with thousands of miles on them. So they definitely ride better. I think they are a little bit noisier versus the other tires, but that's not a huge deal to me already, as this car has relatively high road noise to begin with, so it's not a huge difference. The one thing I have noticed though is that these do have a very soft sidewall, so it can make it a little bit challenging and hard cornering with this car, or if you're doing really quick maneuvering, if you're darting in and out of traffic, or darting in and out of highway traffic at higher speeds, which you shouldn't do, but it does happen sometimes. And you definitely feel that softer sidewall. It kind of feels like it's falling over on itself. It's not a feeling of confidence with the car. It still handles well. It's just, I don't think it's something I'd recommend on a more high performance vehicle. I mean, it's just a Honda at this point, and I just do it for my daily driving to school and to work. So I'm not looking for something that's high performance, but that's the one downside I think I do have with this tire, is that it does have that soft sidewall. But at the same time, it does have that better ride. It's more cushy, I believe, you know, from what I had in my previous experience. So with that, I'll just say that I'm really liking these tires so far, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated. I have to get them rotated soon. I'll keep you guys updated on how they're wearing, and that sort of thing. So, but so far so good. Again, no problems over here. If anything monumental comes up, I'll let you guys know. But at this point, I don't see any reason that I'll have to be telling you guys of anything that's going to go wrong with this car. But anyway, guys, I know I'm a little late right now, but I'll just cut the video short. Thank you a lot for watching. I really do appreciate your support throughout these years. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or anything like that, feel free to comment. And also, please subscribe. Thank you, guys, and have a great night.